Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome all of you, and most likely I should start by saying we are sorry for being late. We should have started this at 10 exactly, but as you might have noticed, we had a visiting ambassador that kept us busy. I would like to welcome you and all Ugandans to this very important function where the National Resistance Movement is publicly launching its electoral roadmap and the political roadmap activities that will start immediately. But before that, I need to congratulate the Muslim fraternity for successfully going through the holy month of Ramadan. And it was almost coinciding with the Lent period of the Christians. We have just started a very important week in our calendar as Christians. The Palm Sunday was just celebrated a day ago, and we know these few days are days where we reckon Jesus' sufferings and hopefully his resurrection on Friday. It will be his resurrection by Sunday. We thank you so much, and we wish all the Christians and the Muslims a holy week of reflection. We went through a series of activities in the party. We were conducting registration of our party members. We went through our branches, which are at the village level. We registered all our members. We did the verification of what we registered. We digitalized them. We took them back to the members. They cross-checked their details. We brought the books back to the center. We took them back to the digitalization centers. We did the second phase of digitalization. And then we brought it to the center here at the head office for the final updates and checks. And I can speak with confirmation and authority that the party has an authentic digitalized members register, which were in our internal party election and for mobilization. In the just concluded registration of our members, we have 20.7 million members of the party. Now that you can discount from the 45.9 million members of your population, that means close to 40-something% of the population of Uganda are members of the National Resistance Movement Party. Of this, 10.8 million are female, and 9.8 million are male. If you go deeper also, we have 7.4 million young people registered in NRM, and 1.7 elder people, and then 458,000. These are people below 18 years, because we register from 16 onwards. Now, when we are making the voter register, we shall remove those from 18 and above of the register, and they now form the voter register. And that is the register that the Electoral Commission is going to use to conduct our internal party elections. We are guide our members on the activities that the party is going to undertake as we build momentum for the general election 2026. As you all know, the party is properly expanded up to the village level, because each and every village in Uganda is our polling station. And that speaks to the numbers that we have registered, because we register our members at the villages. And we have close to 72,000 villages in Uganda, and all these 72,000 villages are members with the books that are going to be taken to them, and are going to be polling stations under NRM political party internal activities. We shall then have structure elections, and after structure elections, we shall have elections for flag bearers at all levels, starting from the lower councils up to the members of parliament and up to the presidential level. So this roadmap we are launching is going to run until we nominate our members for the national elections. And so it is a very important milestone in the party, I need to congratulate my colleagues with whom we work tirelessly to come up with this important roadmap and also the register for the party. Honorable Dombo introduced members who are here, but allow me also to recognize the presence of the Deputy Secretary.
Major retired James William Chinobe. Once ambassador, always ambassador, so you add ambassador on my name. Once honorable, sometimes honorable. If you wish, you can also add honorable ambassador. You can you can also add OHT. And I am now a member of the National Electoral Commission. As introduced, I come from Luwera. I was a member of parliament for that constituency for 2 terms. I was an ex-officio member in the 7th Parliament. During the tenure in Parliament, I was also chairperson of the Parliamentary Caucus. And I've been an active a player with you guys. Many of you, when I see your faces, have been at one moment or the other done some of this work together. So it's my pleasure also to welcome you to this platform as we roll out the details of the roadmap as highlighted by the Right Honorable Secretary General. Right Honorable Secretary General, this report is in 2 documents. The detailed document, which I'm going to read in details, and then a summary of the highlights of the events, which the chairperson has indicated will be given to the media for dissemination. If you have a copy, you see that on the first page there, we're trying to highlight some of the highlights that are intended to be achieved in this roadmap. That is the election of party structures and flag bearers for the 2025/2026, 2030/2031 electoral cycle. The major activity we are on today is the launch of the 2026 roadmap, but inside there will be an activity of launching the Chisanja manifesto, which will be giving highlights on the rollout of the basis of our mobilization for campaigns of the next election. This document also brings out activities on mobilization for party candidates, right from the president to the lowest level of parliament and local governments, but it also has structures of the party. Then it also outlines activities for vote protection for party candidates right from the top of the country, the president, parliamentary and local government councils. Right Honorable SG and members, on page 1, those who have a document, you will see that the first column gives the serial number, the period of the activity and its description, when it's supposed to start and finish, the responsible center, and justification or any other coordination instructions as they may pertain. So the first activity was to craft the party's high-level strategic roadmap and the key milestones leading to the 2025-26 general elections. The exercise was stipulated to start from January 1st to December 31st. As you can see, that exercise has been ongoing and has been completed. And it is the first item. The responsible officer was the Secretary General and the Electoral Commission. All this is intended to prepare the party for the general elections in the period that has been outlined. Second activity was formulation of rules and the regulations of all internal party elections in line with Article 39, subsection 10D of the NRM Constitution. That activity was supposed to start on the 1st January 2024 and on December 31st, 2024. Responsible center was the Electoral Commission, and as I address you now, the regulations and all those guidelines are already in place. And we are ready to prepare for the internal party elections, starting from the structural elections on the grassroots. The next item there is drawing critical and detailed budgetary implications of the entire electoral and mobilization process. Period is January 1st, 2024 to December 31st. Secretary General and the Electoral Commission. And as you can see on the timeline, that activity has been already been completed. Voter education on the electoral mobilization is a continuous activity and is going to continue up to this February 2025, and it started in January 2024. The responsible office is the Secretary General and the National NRM Electoral Commission. And this is intended to disseminate information about this activity to all members of the party and of course nationals in Uganda who are going to participate in the activities that are outlined there. Right Honorable SG, the next activity is continuous research concerning factors that affect smooth conduct of party elections, mobilization for party candidates, and possible mitigation efforts by the Secretariat. The activity was supposed to have started in January 2024, and it did indeed start there, up to February 2025, implying that it's still ongoing. Responsible center is the Secretary General of the party and the Electoral Commission. Research is intended to help us in moving forward as a party, but also formulate policy guidelines that guide our members and the elected leaders. The next activity is field demarcation of constituencies and electoral areas and reorganization of polling stations. As you all know, this does not fall under the ambit of the NRM Electoral Commission, but for purposes of informing Ugandans, this activity is supposed to be handled by the National Electoral Commission. And you'll note that most of our activities are put in place to rhyme with the desirable fall in, we call it fall in the army, with the National Electoral Commission. So all the timelines are timed to make sure that the party complies with all the national requirements and regulations. And that's why in our roadmap, we highlight our internal activities, but at the same time, we also highlight the national activities. The next activity there is also a preserve of the National Electoral Commission. It's a display of constituencies, electoral areas, and their polling stations at sub-county and parishes. According to the roadmap of the Electoral Commission, September 20th to October 11th, 2024, and that is a function of the National Electoral Commission. The next activity, as you see there, is receipt and handling of complaints arising from demarcation of electoral areas, which is also a function of the National Electoral Commission, and the period is September 27th, 2024 to October 2024, and that has been handled by the National Electoral Commission. The Right Honorable SG talked about the thorough register of the NRM. For the first time, we have an authentic, to use his own words, an authentic register. There's no more speculation. If you're not a member in that register, unfortunately, you may not be able to participate in the internal elections of the party. The register was started in 2024 up to 2025, and all of us have been players. That's why the responsible center is all of us. And the intention of this activity is to provide for a smooth conduct and running of internal party elections. The SG talked about digitalization. This implies that by the time we go to the elections, you are going to have a database which has got a record of all the members who will be participating in all our internal activities. And the responsible center is Secretary General. We intend to have a soft copy according to the guidelines, which may even be accessed by candidates at some stage if they really need to access them. For the first time, candidates will be knowing the electoral areas, you'll be knowing the composition of the electorate, and you go to the elections at least this time round without any worry as to who are your voters, because we shall be using that register in all the internal. And mobilize the NRM fraternity to register massively during the making of the register. Some of you have been following activities. We started in 2024, and this activity is still continuing up to 2025 in May, when we shall start the process of activities of elections within our roadmap, as you will see ahead as we continue. So the intention here of whipping and mobilizing Ugandans is to make sure that all members of the NRM actively participate in the activities of the party. The next activities which are copy activities by the National Electoral Commission. It is about local, parliamentary and local government and council by-elections arising out of existing vacancies. You know what the law provides. There is always a cut-off period, and I think we are within that period, which has concluded by elections. General update of the registers is an ongoing exercise, and we're using this moment to mobilize Ugandans, because that's the Electoral Commission, which is now finally going back to the people to update registers. And we urge you, members of the media, to mobilize Ugandans to go and check and update their participation in the national elections by responding to that exercise. Compilation of youth, PWDs, older persons, workers, and UPDF professional bodies voters is an exercise also by the Electoral Commission, January 20th to February 17th, according to the National Electoral Commission roadmap. Then the next activity there, review of the National Electoral Commission Commission's benchmarking outcomes on electoral participation by citizens of the diaspora. You are aware we have a very huge diaspora, but the consultations on how they will be participating in our internal activities is still ongoing, and the activity is supposed to climax in March, and when the guidelines have been concluded, they will be presented. Bringing me to the event which we are holding today, and that is the launch of the national roadmap, which is a function to be concluded by the Secretary General himself in his own words after a thorough presentation from the National Electoral Commission of the NRM Mighty Party. And allow me at this point go to the summary, because this summary is highlighting the major events that will be taking place immediately after the launch. I don't know whether top management has got a copy of the summary. We decided to extract these highlights for purposes of emphasis, because these are major landmark activities within the roadmap, and they are related to electoral activities. The first one is the setup of party structures. The first activity there is going to be an expression of interest and the nominations of those who want to contest in the village setup of our committees, which will take place between 24th April and 30th April 2025. Want to inform you that this period, when we're going for the electoral colleges, village barazas will take place in the entire country of Uganda, because each one of us will be required to go back to your villages, to your polling center, to your center of origin, because every voter has to have a polling center. And you know our polling centers are at village level. So you'll be seeing the president, the secretary general, and all the members of the party going back to their barazas. Check their names during that day, update issues that they have in that register, participate in the village elections, and at that event, we shall also have the LC1, the village chairpersons of that day. So this is a day where the entire country of Uganda is going to be painted yellow when all the members go back to the villages, because this is the only party. This is the only party which has got branches in every village, in all the 72,000 villages of this country. 1st and 5th May, and then the polling date will be 6th May 2025. Right Honorable Secretary General, the special interest groups, the youth, people with disabilities, and older persons will be expressing interest and be nominated between the 19th May to 21st May 2025. Their campaigns will take place between 22nd and 23rd, and the polling day for those special interest groups will be May 24th, 2025. The members of parliament, these are constituency, city and woman MP. They will express interest between 2nd and 15th June 2025. Nominations of the candidates are all flag bearers, as you want to call them, those going to be contesting in the internal elections to hold the flag of the NRM. The nominations will take place between 17th and 30th June 2025. By way of emphasis, nominations will take place between 17th and 30th of June 2025. Then the campaigns, joint campaigns. According to our guidelines and the Constitution, campaigns of internal elections are supposed to be held jointly, and those will take place between 1st July to 14th July 2025. Then polling will be on July 16th, 2025. The local government councils and municipality city-stroke division mayors, expression of interest will be between 2nd June to 15th June 2025. Nominations, 17th June to 30th June 2025. Campaigns will be from July 1st to 14th July 2025. Then elections will be on July 24th to 2025. Local government councils, LC4, municipality, city divisions, and the councillors. Expression of interest is going to be from the July 28th to 4th August 2025. Nominations, 5th August to 9th August 2025. Campaigns will run from the 10th to the 17th, 2025, and the polling will be between August 18, will be on August 2025. Polling day is August 18th, 2025. Local government councils, that is LC3, the town councils and municipal divisions. Expression of interest will be on July 28th to August 4th, 2025. Nominations will be August to 9th, 2025. Campaigns will run from 10th to 14th, 2025, and the polling day will be August 15th, 2025. The National Conference, which is now the highest organ, which has the functions of nominating the presidential flag bearer, setting up the executive committee, the Central Executive Committee of the party, and the executive committees of special organs at the national level, and special interest group flag bearers. These are youth, workers, PWDs, and older persons. The National Conference is going to be held on August 22nd to 25th August 2025. The National EC nomination of local council candidates, we are giving this because after the primaries, we shall have these candidates presented to the National Electoral Commission. It's going to be between September 3rd to September 12th, 2025. The National Electoral Commission nomination of members of Parliament, 16th to September to 17th September 2025. And then the National Electoral Commission nomination of the presidential candidates is slated for 2nd October up to 3rd October 2025. The summary and the roadmap, Right Honorable SCG, is signed by our chairperson, and I want to thank him for allowing me to present this on behalf of the Commission to you, Right Honorable Secretary General, for onward activity. The fee is 3 million shillings. The Lord Mayor, 1.5 million shillings. City councillors, the nomination fee is 500,000. Road councillors, the nomination fee is 1 million shillings. The LC5 chairpersons, nomination fee is 1 million shillings. LC5 councillors, the nomination fee is 200,000. City division mayors, nomination fee is 1 million. Municipal mayors, the nomination fee is 750,000 Uganda shillings. Municipal divisions, 100,000. Sub-county, town council, division, municipal, local government chairpersons, the nomination fee is 20,000. Sub-county stroke town councillors, the nomination fee is 20,000. LC1 chairpersons, only chairpersons, but not members of the executive, is to pay 10,000 shillings as a nomination fee. Now, those are the fees for those contesting for offices that are gazetted under the National Electoral Commission. We have NRM structure positions and the fees for nomination of those who want to take leadership in the party structures as follows. The national chairperson of the NRM party, the nomination fee is 20 million. The first national vice chairperson, the nomination fee is 10 million. The second national vice, nomination fee, and this is female, the first one is male, is 10 million shillings. National vice chairpersons of the regions, Eastern, Northern, Western, Central, Karamoja, and Kampala, 5 million shillings as a nomination fee. The league chairpersons, national leagues, 1 million shillings. Other executive league members at national level, 500,000. NRM stroke district mainstream chairperson, nomination fee is 500,000. The district stroke city mainstream vice chairperson, general secretary, publicity secretary, secretary for finance, 50,000. The NRM district stroke city league chairperson, 100,000. NRM district city league vice chairpersons, general secretary, publicity secretary, secretary for finance, 100,000. Municipality stroke city divisions mainstream chairpersons, 200,000. And municipality chairperson, city division league chairpersons, 50,000. And finally, NRM sub-county mainstream chairpersons, the fee is 50,000. I beg. Are supposed to be deposited in the bank. You don't come with money to the National Electoral Commission. You only come with a deposit slip. And the bank is Centenary Bank Uganda Limited, Rugogo branch. And the bank account name is National Resistance Movement. The account number is 3100009003. Signed, Chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Dr. Tanga Odoy. I beg to submit, Chair.
We registered 20.7 million members, and out of that, definitely, we removed those below 18 years. Our voter register has 19 million point something. I'm looking for the point, the figure in the point. So we have 19 million voters in the voter register of the party that we are going to send to the villages. Now, this membership are captured from each and every village. And if we give you the report of the register, we even have summaries, district by district, sub-regions by sub-region, and village by village. On average, every village in Uganda, if we do the calculations and divide the number by the 72,000 villages, you find on average every village has close to about 300 something members. And that is average of every village of Uganda. But with the exception of villages in urban areas, which are a little more higher. So we are sure of our members, we are sure of our records, and we know we have the right numbers that we need for our elections. Now, when it comes to mobilization, and that is where we get our strength, that the National Resistance Movement Party concentrates in mobilizing members that are known and encouraging them to go and vote. Right now, we are working to make sure that those that are our members are all registered voters with the National Electoral Commission. And that is where we get our strength. Thank you.
One question, sir.
MPs should be S6 or equivalent. The details of how we shall handle nomination will be given in subsequent press conferences, because some of the nominations are at village level, others at district, and the main ones will be here. We shall have subsequent press conferences now that the roadmap is out. But the first guideline, you must be a member of NRM to qualify to be in this roadmap, and you must be in the register. Honorable Shinobe can expound on more.
Under Rule 2, Rule 3, most of these are well stipulated. If you proceed to prohibited conduct of members, we also have them in our constitution. And most of these, we put them in line with what is required at the national level, because we want to practice the standards that are accepted at the national level. The qualifications of our members at all levels will mirror the qualifications that we are allowed to have at national level. So for members of parliament, the same qualification we shall give, we shall accept at the same qualifications that are required at the national level. For presidential candidates, the same will be accepted as per the national level. Same at LC5, councillors, up to the lower level. So we are not reinventing the wheel. We are following what is already in the Constitution. In total, we have 20,741,871 members. Of these members, the voters had 19,804,097. Those are the voters. So we removed those below 18 from the membership, and it brought us to the actual voters we have. And these are the members that we are handing over to Electoral Commission to go and conduct elections. Registration of party members is an exercise that is open. When we open up registration, we called upon our members and those wishing to join our party to come and register. And so we are reporting on what we have done and those that got registered. And all these names, most of them, we have their NIN numbers, we have their national ID details, we have their records, we have their biodata information. And so we are confident that those who are registered with us have first, even before thinking that they belong to other political parties, we want to make sure that all of them are registered voters in the National Electoral Commission. And all of them have national IDs. Now, as to whether they are members of other parties or not, for us, as long as you have registered as NRM, we take you as NRM. What you were before you became NRM is your business. Now that you are NRM, you must follow the rules and conditions and conducts of being an NRM member. So we take this as members of the National Resistance Movement Party. They are saying that our records are not matching and tallying with the National Electoral Commission records. Our level of penetration is much higher because we are conducting our activities at village level. If you may care to know, there are very many Ugandans who have not been registered by the National Electoral Commission, because our polling stations are 72,000. The National Electoral Commission polling stations are below 40,000. Total, there are 34,000. They conduct their activities at parish level. In the last update, they were conducting at sub-county level because the machines were not enough and machines were shared at sub-county levels and other sub-counties also missed. But for NRM, we took our books to each and every village of Uganda. And that speaks volume, meaning Electoral Commission should give more time for people to register so that we get many Ugandans registered in the National Electoral Commission data.
Electoral Commission voters are more than 24 million, not 18 million. I think cross-check with them.
The membership of the NRM, don't use the Electoral Commission register, use the national population. That's why the Secretary General was telling you ours is a percentage of the population, because not every Ugandan is registered by the Electoral Commission. Therefore, if you want to equate our numbers proportionate to Ugandans, use the national population. If we are 40%, we are 40% of the national population. The confusion always comes, we use the figures of registered voters of the National Electoral Commission, well knowing that many Ugandans, as we speak today, are not registered voters. So there are many people who are left out of the bracket of the Electoral Commission, yet for us, we go to the 72 villages and register them as members, and finally ensure that they also become voters to vote for us. Thank you, SG.
There are national IDs from NIRA, and I'm sure you're all aware of this. And for us as a party, our registration was free and open. And that is why we have this number we have. So we also call upon Ugandans to go and collect their national IDs from their district centers. Because in the next election, you will not be allowed to vote unless you have your NIN number.
Mr. Secretary General,
important day, a very remarkable day for the NRM people in the country. I just wanted to add that as NRM, we are very proud that we have registered the highest number of people in Uganda, and that tells you the mightiness of NRM. We do not doubt our statistics. We are sure that the 20.7 million Ugandans that registered with us are members of the NRM, with the exception of those who died along the way. That's why the Secretary General was talking about deleting the dead, and also maybe later removing those who are under 18. I just wanted to add, actually what I wanted to say was already communicated by my colleague, Honorable Chinove, but I want to emphasize that I was shocked to learn, and I confirmed this from the National Electoral Commission itself, that actually not all Ugandans who register with NIRA are voters, and yet they could be of voting age. And they even confirmed that during registration, when we are given those forms, as we fill the forms, there's where you are asked to fill in whether you are a voter, where you want to vote, your voting details. And many people, because they are interested in citizenship, they skip that area. So we have a large number of Ugandans, close to 10 million, that are registered under NIRA as citizens and of voting age, but they are not voters with the National Electoral Commission. So kindly don't use those statistics to confuse us, to say, you know, you have more people than the National EC. I think the issue we should be now talking about is, of the registered people, how many actually turn to vote? If the National Electoral Commission registered 18 million people, 18.3 by 2020, how comes only 10 million turned out to vote? As a political party, the NRM, our emphasis now should be on mobilizing our members to turn up to vote as those who are registered with us. Of course, Right Honorable Secretary General, you talked about the data processing that we are undertaking now, that we need to separate the voters from those under 18. We need to separate those who moved to other villages, shift them to the particular villages where they are registered in. We need to separate those in the diaspora, and we also need, because we have members in the diaspora who also registered with the NRM. We also need to separate the women from the men and the children, and that is all the data processing that constitutes our different electoral colleges. And I can tell you, no political party does what the NRM does. And we are very confident that with these numbers, we are assured of a win come 2026. I thank you, and God bless you all.
As I just wanted to say that according to UBOS, they say that in every village, there are around 50 to 70 households. And that in terms of numbers of people in that area, they range, a village ranges between 250 people to 1,000 people. Now, when you look at our numbers, the 20,741,831 members, and you divide them by the number of villages, the average number of our members per village is actually 288. So it fits within the UBOS numbers. The only difference, like my colleagues have said, is that the level of enthusiasm, the robust nature of mobilization that is taken when members are registering at village level is different from how the other agencies do it. Njagala okutegeeza bannayuganda leero ekibiina kye NRM nga tukulembeddwamu Ssaabawandiisi w'ekibiina kitongozza enteekateeka namutaayika egenda okugoberera mu by'okulonda oba kye tuyita roadmap, era nga Secretary General ategeezezza bannayuganda nti twawandiisa abantu ba members 2,274,000 n'obugwamu, naye nga kwabo bwe tujjako abatannatuuka kulonda ab'emyaka 16 ne 17, kiba kitegeeza nti abalonzi bali obukadde 19,840 egy'aba members abagenda okulonda. So tulina kye tuyita membership register. Membership register eyo erimu n'ab'emyaka 16 ne 17. Kati mu yo mwe mwavudde voters register ng'abo abatannaweza myaka gironda tebaliimu, n'olwekyo bamemba bagenda okulonda bali obukadde 19 n'emitwalo 8,497. Ekyokubiri, Secretary General atongozza roadmap nga ebigenda okutambula okuviira ddala ku kulonda obukiiko bw'ekibiina NRM oba kye tuyita party structures nga zigenda kutandika mu mwezi guno nga 24 paka nga 3 wajja kubaawo okulaga expression of interest abagenda okwesima, naye ng'okulonda kwennyini kugenda kubeerawo nga 6 May tujja kuba tulonda obukiiko bwe NRM ku byalo lwe tutandika, then nga May 24 tujja kuba tulonda obukiiko bwe NRM ku miruka, obwa special interest groups bujja kuba bulondebwa. N'olwekyo ababaka ba parliament tusuubira nti bajja kukima forms okulaga nti bagenda kwesimbawo mu June nga 2 paka June nga 15, era ne nomination zigoberere, naye ng'okulonda ku babaka ba parliament mu kamyufu kwanga 16 July oba 16 omwezi ogw'omusanvu 2025, era tujja kuba n'okulonda okwa kamyufu okwa local governments, ba councillors ne ba mayor bajja kuba balondebwa July nga 24, then n'okulonda okulala kwonna kujja kuba kugenda maaso ne ba councillors aba sub county mu August nga 15. Tujja kuba n'olukiiko ttabamiruka olw'e NRM kye tuyita National Conference lugenda kubeerawo mu August nga 22 okutuukira ddala August nga 25, era olukiiko olwo lujja kuba nga lwe lututwala mu kulonda ne ba flag bearers ab'ebifo ku national level. So olwaleero ekikoleddwa kwe kutegeeza bamemba b'NRM bonna, kwe kutegeeza bonna abagenda okwesimbawo mu kibiina ky'NRM n'abalina be bagenda okuwagira mu kibiina ky'NRM, okubategeeza nti roadmap efulumizibwa era egenda kutandika ng'egobererwa nga bwerambikiddwa. N'olwekyo tugenda kusaba bamembazi baffe okwongera okusomera ddala roadmap nga bweri bagitegeere, naye ng'ekisinga obukulu nti roadmap yaffe yeesigamiziddwa ku roadmap y'akakiiko k'ebyokulonda ak'eggwanga, nti ffe twagala ebyaffe tubikole ng'obudde bukyali, tube nga tugoberera roadmap eyateekebwawo akakiiko k'eggwanga ak'ebyokulonda. Kiri mu roadmap eno nti nga tulonda obukiiko bwe NRM ku byalo, NRM era ejja kuba ekola akamyufu aka LC1 ku byalo. Tujja kuba tulonda n'abanaakwata bendera ya NRM ku kifo kya LC1. Nolwekyo ku kulonda okwo okw'ennaku z'omwezi nga 6 omwezi ogwokutaano, ffe nga NRM tujja kuba tulonda abanaabeera mu bukiiko bwaffe obw'abantu 3 naye ate tujja kukola n'akamyufu aka LC1. Nti Electoral Commission weeneerangira nti kati kulonda LC1 ffe tujja kuba ba flag bearers baffe tubalina.
In your reporting, separate facts from the truth. The facts should be facts, the truth should be the truth. You seem to be appearing like you're advocate. Don't advocate for wrong things. Uganda is beautiful. Let's not mess it up. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Nga bulijjo mu kibiina ky'NRM tubeera n'ensimbi ezisasulwa ng'omuntu agenda kwesimbawo oba nomination fee. N'olwekyo ku mulundi guno omuntu yenna ayagala okwesimbawo okubeera national chairman w'NRM agenda kubanga asasula obukadde 2, member wa parliament obukadde 3, Lord Mayor akakadde 1.5, city councillors emitwalo 5, Lord councillors akakadde 1, chairman owero C5 akakadde 1, LC5 councillors emitwalo 2, city division mayors akakadde 1, municipal mayors emitwalo 75, municipal division councillors emitwalo 10, sub county councillors oba aba ku magombolola emitwalo 2, bakansala abajja ku gombolola nga bava ku miruka emitwalo 2, chairperson owero C1 nomination fee ya mutwalo 1. Nziramu mu structures z'NRM, chairman w'NRM ayagala okubeera chairman w'NRM obukadde 2, ayagala okubeera first national vice chairperson oba vice chairperson yasooka obukadde 10, vice chairperson owokubiri nga mukyala obukadde 10, national vice chairperson oba vice chairpersons aba regions obukadde 5, ba chairperson aba leagues ez'enjawulo akakadde 1, ba executive members aba leagues ku national level emitwalo 5, district chairperson okubeera chairperson w'NRM ku district nomination fee ya mitwalo 5, ne district oba city mainstream vice chairperson, general secretary, publicity secretary ne finance bajja kuwa emitwalo 5, okubeera chair wa league ssentebe wa league yonna ku district emitwalo 10, okubeera vice oba publicity oba secretary for finance oba general secretary nabo emitwalo 10 ku district, ku municipali ne division mainstream emitwalo 2, ate leagues emitwalo 5. Abo be bantu abagenda ze sente zigenda okusasulwa nga nomination fee. Sub county chairpersons okubeera chairperson w'NRM ku gombolola emitwalo 5, sente zino tebajja nazo naye baziteeka ku akawunti y'ekibiina mu banka ya Centenary branch y'e Lugogo era liri mannya ga National Resistance Movement, akawunti eri 3M00009003. Mwebale nnyo.
That brings us to the end.
We heard that the party.
Can we launch this? I hereby officially launch the National Resistance Movement electoral roadmap that starts immediately. For those who are willing to contest, those who are willing to campaign for candidates, make sure you are within the stipulated dates and roadmaps and maintain discipline during the exercise. I hereby launch the roadmap. You should have taken us through this drill before. Is it okay now? Thank you.